There's a reason Kovaaks is the most highly regarded aim trainer, and today we're going to dive into it. What up? It's your boy, the champ, with Striders Angels Esports, and welcome back to episode 7 of how to improve your aim. And I'm really excited about today's video because we're going to take a look at Kovaaks 2.0, the meta, which is commonly regarded as the top aim trainer. And I have a 30-minute training routine for you guys, which is going to hit on all your important fundamental aiming skills. And what I really love about this routine is the drills I picked are very accessible for a beginner to start training on, but someone who is really advanced can still grind these same drills and see just massive improvements. Now, if you're a Kovaaks vet and you want to skip to the routine, a timestamp should appear above me right now. If you're brand new to Kovaaks, you can find it on Steam. At the time of this video, it's $9.99 and well worth the investment into. It's the top aiming product out there right now, and it's got a ton of different exercises and a huge amount of community support. And if you're coming with me from Aiming Pro from my previous videos, I think you're gonna like the extra little bit of challenge in some of the exercises here. Once you have Kovaaks installed and up and running, you want to hit escape and make sure you're in the sandbox mode of the game. This is the first thing to do, as the meta version of the game is just complete and total trash. So make sure you're in the sandbox. Now, once you're in the sandbox, go into settings, and as usual, the first thing you want to do is convert the mouse sensitivity to your game of choice. If you need a separate converter, as usual, link is in the description below. While you're here, make sure your FPS cap is synced with your monitor or uncapped, as the first time I played this trainer, the default cap was at 60, and when I finally changed it to my monitor's FPS cap, my scores just doubled. I like to go to the weapon tab next and hide my weapon, and just take the time while you're here to set up a crosshair of choice. Whatever you're comfortable with is fine. Again, I use green. Next, move over to video and just make sure your resolution is correct. So now that our settings are straight, let's look at the main page. And even though Kovaaks just cleaned up its UI and it's improved quite a bit, it's still tough to figure out what you should be doing or what drills to do. And there are some default playlists right there in front of you, but we're gonna hit the online scenarios tab to start our routine. Now, just before we begin the routine, remember, as usual, we're doing 6 exercises, 5 times each. And before we dive into the exercises, just please hit the sub button so you can support the channel and come back for bi-weekly aim training videos. All right, self-promotion out of the way. The first exercise we're gonna do is close long strafes. Just type this into the search bar and remember to click the star to favorite it. This is one of the core tracking development tasks in Kovaaks, and remember to keep your eyes on the target first, so you're tracking the target, not focusing on your crosshair. You want to develop that kind of sixth sense of knowing where your crosshair is placed. Drill number 2, we have 1 wall, 6 targets, TE, which is your classic click and flick accuracy training. The beginner focus, as I say, in all these routines is accuracy first. If you hit over 90% of your shots, you'll most likely be on the average score. And if you're coming with me from Aiming Pro, Kovaaks removes points for misses, so try not to be loose with your accuracy. Third up, we have another one of my favorite tracking development tasks, which is fuglaaXYLongstrafes. This has a bit more verticality to it than close long strafes, and it's another great exercise which I would consider one of the core exercises for building up your tracking skills. Drill number 4, we're going to go back to flick and click, and we're going to work on 1 wall, 1 target. And here, with only the 1 target up at a time, we're going to focus on taking a direct path from one shot to the next. So just remember to try to cut out and notice any of those loopy mouse motions that you're making. And just imagine a ruler being held from one target to the next, and you want to follow the most direct path possible to your target. All right, 5th drill up, and one of my personal favorites is patTargetSwitch. And I love this drill because it works on your target switching and tracking. And it also has a reload mechanic, which can be pretty punishing if you're not being accurate with your shots. I only shoot for the head circles in this drill. I think once you get comfortable with the drill, you should do the same, since it will make it a bit more challenging with the smaller targets. All right, last drill of the routine, we're gonna work on our click timing with 1 wall, 5 targets, passu. And the goal here is to be as accurate as possible while hitting moving targets. So avoid spam clicking, as we wanna focus on our precision. I think this will be the hardest drill for people to pick up in their routine. So if you're a new player, don't get frustrated and just notice that the median score of this drill is pretty low, meaning a lot of people have also struggled with this drill. That brings us to the end of our first Kovaaks routine, and I'm very confident following this routine consistently 5 days a week will lead to some pretty big improvements in your game. Remember to compete against yourself, not others at first, as you want to see your average score just kind of increasing. And as those average scores go up, you'll eventually be blasting through personal highs and moving up the Kovaaks leaderboards. I hope this video was helpful, and please consider subscribing to the channel. It's tremendously helpful to a small channel like mine, and then you get to see bi-weekly aim content. I also stream on Twitch pretty much daily. Feel free to stop by, champ.